Mahabharata, first part, chapter 36. Draupadi again insulted. And so, after 12 long years in the forest, waiting for the day they could reclaim their kingdom, the final year of busy city life passed quickly for the Pandavas. Yudhishthir diced with Bharata, and thanks to the skills he had acquired from Vrishaparva, Yudhishthir, under the disguise of Kicaka, won much wealth from the king. Secretly, he distributed his winnings to his brothers. Bhima ensured that his brothers had the best of food and drink. From the ladies in the palace, Arjuna obtained many items of clothing, which he gave to his brothers, and the twins also shared with their brothers the wealth they earned from the king. So it seemed to the Pandavas that they were back in their mother's house, and they lived so happily. They also kept vigilant eyes on Draupadi, and were always alert to any danger that might come from Duryodhana's men. In the 4th month of their stay in Bharata, there was a festival held in honor of Lord Shiva. Among the festivities was a wrestling contest. Many powerful fighters from all over Bharata assembled in the city, roaring like lions. Those colossal-bodied men were maddened with their power and strength. They strode about the wrestling arena, slapping their arms and chests. King Bharata honored them and organized a tournament between them. One wrestler, Jimuta, was the most powerful, and he emerged victorious from the contest. As soon as he stood, shouting out a furious challenge, no one dared to come forward to fight him. Then Bharata summoned his cook, Vallabha, ordering him to fight. Bhima could not defy the king's order. Reluctantly, he prepared for the match. Although he enjoyed fighting, he was afraid someone might recognize him if he displayed too much power. Praying to Krishna that he not be recognized, Bhima went before the roaring Jimuta. The two wrestlers appeared just like infuriated elephants about to fight for leadership of the herd. A fierce fight ensued, with the combatants locked together, each looking for the other's weak points. Their blows sounded like thunderbolts striking mountains. The crowd gasped and cheered in turn. Each fighter dashed the other to the ground, threw him, pressed him down with force, and whirled the other around. They slapped and kicked one another with tremendous power. Knees struck against knees, and heads struck against heads, sounding like two stones crashing together. And as they fought, they shouted insults at one another. The crowd was delighted, some supporting Bhima and others Jimuta. Finally, Bhima decided to end the contest. He suddenly lifted Jimuta over his head and whirled him about. Bhima spun him 100 times with such force that Jimuta fell unconscious. Then Bhima dashed him to the ground. Seeing the senseless Jimuta lying on the ground, Bharata was overjoyed. Immediately he gave Vallabha valuable gifts, asking if there were any others who would dare to challenge him. And when no one came forward, Bharata ordered that Vallabha fight with lions, tigers, and elephants. Bhima overpowered many animals in the midst of the astonished crowd, but no one had any idea of his actual identity. Virata was pleased with all the Pandavas. By his celestial skills in the arts, Arjuna delighted Virata and the palace ladies. Nakula showed him many well-trained and swift horses, and the king was also pleased with Sahadev's handling of his cows and bulls. But Draupadi, seeing her husbands engaged in such menial service, felt pained at heart. Meanwhile, the Panchala princess waited upon Sudeshna in misery, but she conducted herself in such a way that the queen was satisfied by her service and gave no thought as to who she might actually be. 11 months passed. One day, as Draupadi was moving about the palace, the commander of Virata's army, Kicaka, happened to see Draupadi. The mighty Kicaka was immediately struck by the arrows of Cupid when he saw Draupadi's enchanting beauty. Why, she seemed like a goddess descended to earth. His heart was inflamed with desire. He went to his sister, the queen, and said, "I have never seen this maidservant before. Who is she? Her beauty maddens me, just as wine does with its aroma. Indeed, this bewitching damsel has ground my heart and brought me under her subjugation. I am fevered with desire, and only she has the cure. Tell me, my sister, how she has come to be your servant. It seems that she is too good for such a menial position. Let her grace my palace and enjoy every opulence with me." As Kicaka was speaking, Draupadi entered the queen's chamber. Without even waiting for Sudeshna's answer, Kicaka turned to Draupadi and spoke to her. "Who are you, and who do you belong to? O fair-faced maiden, simply by seeing you, I have lost my mind. I have never seen such grace and beauty in a woman. Are you Goddess Lakshmi herself, or perhaps Sri, Pri, Kirti, or Kanti? Yes, you must be a celestial, because you shine like the full moon. What man would not yield to Cupid's influence after beholding your face shining with such heavenly beauty? Your well-shaped breasts resembling lotus buds, and your shapely form have afflicted me with the blazing fire of lust. O fair one, pray, extinguish this fire with the rain cloud of union. Your maddening gestures and movements have pierced my heart. It behooves you to save me from my plight by surrendering yourself to me and allowing me to enjoy your company. And you shall have whatever you desire, and your time as a servant will end." Kicaka spoke at length in his attempt to woo Draupadi, but she was only filled with horror. Lowering her face and covering her head, she replied, "I am a Sairindri of low caste, holding the hateful position of dressing hair. O hero, in desiring me, you wish for one who was not worthy of such an honor. And furthermore, already I am the wife of others, and thus your conduct is quite unbecoming. So do not turn your mind to adultery, for that leads inevitably to disgrace and calamity. To fully abandon sin is ever the duty of those who are good. But Kicaka, whose senses were completely overpowered by lust, simply smiled. Without caring for the consequences, he addressed Draupadi in sweet tones. "O timid one, it is not fair of you to reject me. I am enslaved by Cupid on your account. If you do not accept my proposal, then you will have to regret your decision. I am the lord of this realm. The people depend upon me for their safety. In heroism, I have no rival on this earth. My power and prosperity are without compare. Why do you turn me down in favor of a life of servitude? I shall bestow the kingdom upon you. Live with me in happiness and enjoy whatever you desire." By now, Draupadi was disgusted by Kicaka's shamelessness, and so she became angry. "O son of Asuta, do not needlessly throw away your life. I am always protected by 5 heroes. You cannot win me because I am already married to 5 Gandharvas who are of terrible prowess, and they will not tolerate this insult and will doubtlessly slay you if you persist in your attempts to win me. Then you will have no refuge, even if you descend to the subterranean world or soar up to the heavens. My husbands always crush their enemies. Why, O Kicaka, do you desire me like a child on his mother's lap, who desires the moon? Now, look to your own safety and leave me alone." Draupadi turned and quickly walked away from the queen's chamber. Kicaka was shocked and dismayed by Draupadi's stern refusal. He spoke to his sister Sudeshna. "O princess, do whatever is necessary to make this maiden incline toward me. For if she does not accept me, I shall kill myself." Sudeshna pitied her brother in his disappointment. "All right, I will find a suitable opportunity and send the Sairindri to you in order to fetch something. In the solitude of your quarters, you will be able to solicit her at leisure. Then she will most likely become attached to you." Kicaka agreed to his sister's suggestion and then returned to his own palace. A few days later, the queen called for Draupadi. "O Sairindri, today is a festival, and I am feeling thirsty. My brother has some excellent wine prepared. Please go there and fetch some of that wine for me." "Oh, princess, I shall not go to that wicked man's house. You have seen for yourself how shamelessly he approached me. O most beautiful lady, I asked when I came here that I be kept safe from other men. Now if you send me to Kicaka, he will dishonor me. So please, send one of your other maids." "You have no need to fear. You are being sent from the royal palace. My brother will not dare insult you." The queen handed Draupadi a golden pot and then waved her away. Fearful and crying, Draupadi left for Kicaka's palace, and as she walked, she prayed, "As I am always faithful to my husbands, so by the strength of that virtue, may I be protected from Kicaka." Draupadi then looked up at the sun, asking the sun god for his protection. Out of compassion, Suryadev ordered a Rakshasa to invisibly protect her, and from that time on, the Rakshasa never left Draupadi under any circumstance. When Draupadi entered, Kicaka stood up in joy. With folded palms he spoke, "O fair one of beautiful tresses, you are indeed most welcome. Somehow I have managed to survive the last few days after seeing you. Now you shall become the mistress of my house. Let golden chains and brilliant ornaments of every description be brought for your pleasure. Gems, jewels, and silken garments await you in abundance. I have prepared for you a most fine bed. Come, drink with me this honeyed wine." Without looking at Kicaka, Draupadi replied coldly, "Your sister has sent me to fetch wine. So please fill this pot and leave me quickly, for the queen is thirsty." "Let others take the queen her wine. You should remain here with me." As he was speaking, Kicaka moved closer to Draupadi. Then Kicaka took Draupadi by her arm. Crying out in fear, Draupadi said tearfully, "As I have never acted unfaithfully toward my husbands, even in my mind or heart, by virtue of that truth, I shall see you hurled down and punished for this sin." Draupadi struggled to get free from Kicaka, and he ran after her, grabbing hold of her upper garment as it trailed behind her. Trembling in wrath, Draupadi spun around and pushed Kicaka with all of her strength. Caught by surprise, Kicaka fell to the ground like a tree cut at its root. Draupadi rushed into the royal court, seeking the king's protection. Kicaka pursued her and caught her right in front of the king. Pulling her back forcefully, Kicaka kicked Draupadi as she fell to the mosaic floor. The invisible Rakshasa, appointed by the sun god, then struck Kicaka a blow with the force of the wind, and he fell prostrate. Meanwhile, Bhima happened to be present in the court, along with Yudhishthir, and Bhima glared at Kicaka. That unforgiving Pandava gnashed his teeth and clenched his fists, ready to leap up at once and kill Kicaka. Bhima's eyes became dark and smoky, and terrible wrinkles appeared on his forehead, along with beads of sweat. Bhima rubbed his forehead with his huge hand, fighting his desire to hurl himself at Draupadi's offender. But Yudhishthir reached over and pressed Bhima's arm. "O cook, you had best go about your business. Surely you are needed in the kitchen." Restrained by his elder brother, Bhima rose up slowly and left the court with his eyes fixed on Kicaka, who was picking himself up from the floor, looking around in amazement to see who had struck him. Draupadi, now seeing her husbands maintaining their disguises before the king, stood before Bharata with flashing eyes. "O king, the son of Asuta has kicked me, the honored wife of those whose enemies can never sleep, even if they reside in heaven. Kicaka has kicked me, the respected consort of those who are truthful, devoted to Brahmanas, and ever accustomed to giving charity. Kicaka has kicked me, the beloved wife of those who are endowed with energy, power, and self-control, and who, if they were not tied down by duty, could destroy the entire world. Alas, where do those warriors roam right now? How can they, like eunuchs, suffer their spouse to be so insulted? Where is their wrath, prowess, and energy when they cannot protect their own wife from such a wretch?" As she was speaking, Draupadi glanced toward Yudhishthir, who was squirming in pain. Turning her gaze on Bharata, she went on talking. "Oh, what can I do? I am in this city, and he who defies virtue has coolly allowed me to be insulted right before his very eyes. Why does the king not act like a king toward Kicaka? O best of men, how do you tolerate this outrage? Let all the courtiers mark your failure today. Where is the virtue in either Kicaka or the king, or even in the silent courtiers who have witnessed Kicaka's despicable behavior?" And as Draupadi was sobbing, King Bharata replied, "Well, I do not know the full details of your quarrel with Kicaka, and without knowing everything, how can I pass judgment?" The king then looked at his brother-in-law, who was smiling. The aged Bharata depended on Kicaka to defend the city, so the king could not say anything to offend him. But the courtiers were now praising Draupadi and reproaching Kicaka. "Oh, this gentle lady is like a goddess within our midst. Surely the man who has her for a wife wants for nothing. And by insulting her, Kicaka has performed a most sinful deed." Yudhishthir just sat there burning with anger. Drops of perspiration ran down his face. In a taut, tight voice, he spoke. "O Sairindri, you should now return to Sudeshna's apartments. The wives of heroes endure pain on behalf of their husbands, but in the end they attain the blessed regions where their husbands go. I think your Gandharva husbands do not feel that the moment is right for their display of power. So you should not remain here and cause a disturbance. Just be confident that your husbands will assuage your sorrow in due course of time." Draupadi had fallen to the floor weeping. Now she composed herself and stood up to leave. "I practice piety for the sake of my compassionate and forgiving husbands, they of whom the eldest is addicted to dice, are ever oppressed by others." The mystified King Bharata simply watched as Draupadi went out of the court with her head lowered, returning to the queen's chambers. When Sudeshna saw her tearful face, she spoke. "Oh, beautiful one, Who has slighted you? Why are you weeping? O gentle one, whose happiness will come to an end today? Bowing down before the queen, Draupadi replied, As I went to fetch your wine, Kicaka struck me in the court, in the presence of the king. What? Well then, I shall have him chastised. O lady with curling tresses, if it is your will, then let this lustful man be killed. O queen, do not worry, for those whom Kicaka has wronged will deal with him soon enough. I think he will go to the region of Yamaraj before long. Draupadi went to her own rooms and bathed herself, putting on fresh garments. She wanted to purify herself of the contamination of Kicaka's touch. Her mind dwelt on the insult, and she considered how to avenge herself. She thought of Bhima. Obviously, he had been ready to annihilate Kicaka on the spot. Certainly, he would fulfill her desire if she approached him. She could not face another day knowing that Kicaka still lived. Seeing that the king was powerless and thinking that she had no protector, Kicaka would doubtlessly continue to harass her. Draupadi decided to go to Bhima, and when the palace residents were asleep, silently she went to his quarters. Bhajahure mana Srinandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Bhajahure mana Srinandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Hare Nama Eva Kevalam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Lord Ramachandra's Narsingha Panchamrita. These prayers are from the 47th chapter of the Harivangsha Purana, which narrates the story of Lord Ramachandra's visit to the holy place of Ahovalam to see the deity of Lord Narsingha, where Narsingha Dev appeared and saved his devotee Prahlad. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasinghaya. Ahovalam Narasingham Gatva Rama Pratapavan Namakritya Sri Narsingham Astaushit Kamalapatim. The glorious Lord Ram once visited Ahovala, where Ram saw the deity of Lord Narsingha. Ramachandra offered obeisances to Lord Kamalapati, known as the husband of the goddess of fortune, praying as follows. Govinda Keshava Janardana Vasudeva Vishva Isha Vishva Madhusudana Vishvarupa Sri Padmanabha Purushottama Pushkara Aksha Narayana Achyuta Narsingha Namo Namaste. O my dear Lord, again and again I offer my respectful obeisances unto you by these many holy names of yours. Deva samasta kalugopi mukyah Gandharva vidyadhara kinnarascha Yat padamulam satatam namanti Tang narasingham sharanangata asmi. I take shelter of Lord Nrsimha, unto whose lotus feet demigods, prominent yogis, Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, and Kinnaras are constantly offering obeisances. Vedan samastan kalu shastra garbhan Vidyam balam kirtimatim cha lakshmin Yasya prasadat purusha labante Tam narasingham sharanangata asmi. Now I have taken shelter of Nrsimhadev, by whose mercy people receive all the Vedas, the essence of all scriptures, knowledge, strength, reputation, and wealth. Brahma Shivastram Purushottamascha Narayana Shau Marutam Patischa Chandra Arkavayu Agni Marudganacha Twameva Tang Twang Shatatang Natoshmi. O Nrsimhadev, you are Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the best person, Narayana. You are the master of the Maruts. You are the sun, the moon, air, and fire, as well as the Marut Ganas. I offer my obeisances unto you. Snapne pinitya jagatang ashesham Shrasta chahanta vibhura prabhibhya Tartatam eka strivido vibhinna Tam twang nrsingham shatatam natosmi. I offer my obeisances unto Lord Nrsimha, who is the creator, the maintainer, and destroyer of the entire universe. And although you perform all of these three acts simultaneously, you are completely beyond these activities. You are the all-pervading, unlimited, supreme spirit. Iti shrutva raghu shrestha pujayam asatam harim pushva vrishti papat ashu tasya devasya murdhani. Praying in this way, the best of the Raghus, Lord Ramachandra, thus worshiped Lord Hari. And at that time, the demigods showered a rain of flowers upon the head of the deity of Lord Nrsimha. Raghavena kutang stotram panchamrita manuktamam papanti ye dvija varaha teshang swarga astu shasvataha. So this is the best of prayers called Panchamrita, or 5 nectars compiled by Lord Ram himself. One who hears this will be liberated eternally. Sri Nrsimha, Jaya Nrsimha, Jaya Jaya Nrsimha, Prahlad Isha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bringa. Jaya Nrsimha Dev, Nrsimha Dev, Nrsimha Dev, Nrsimha Dev. Jaya Bhakta Prahlad, Bhakta Prahlad, Bhakta Prahlad, Bhakta Prahlad. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.